Have you ever heard the phrase, act like it's already here? Neville Goddard taught that this is not just a metaphor. It's literally the key to creation. One thing he said was, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and watch the world rearrange itself to reflect it. The problem is most people wait for their external world to change before they allow themselves to actually feel those emotions of having what they want right now. But one thing that Neville Goddard did was he flipped this concept on its head. And he said, if you can feel it first, feel that emotion of having, if you can live from the end instead of wait for it to happen, then your desire has no choice but to show up. Because if having those things will make you feel a certain way, then feeling a certain way will lead you to having those things. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. How to live from the end, how to act as if whatever you want is already here. One concept you will likely come across in this world of manifestation is this, that creation is already finished, that every possibility, every outcome, every version of you is already created in a way. So your job isn't to make something happen. All you have to do is decide which version of these infinite possibilities you want in your life, and then make the conscious decision to live from that state. And when you act like that version of you is already here, you're doing exactly what Neville said when he talked about living in the end. So you're stepping into the vibration, the consciousness of already being the person who has those things that you want. It's not about pretending, it's about identifying and choosing the version of you who already lives in that reality. Most importantly, aligning your feelings with that version of you who already has the life that you want. One of the many concepts that Neville Goddard talked about was this idea that the world is a mirror. So everything in the world is a reflection of your own internal state. Your outer world is nothing more than your inner world pushed out. The subconscious mind, your subconscious mind, it doesn't care about logic or appearances. It accepts whatever you consistently tell it to be true. And so whatever you're affirming to yourself subconsciously and internally is then projected out externally into the outside world in the 3D. So once you internally feel and know that you're the version of you who already has what you want, your subconscious says, okay, that's who we are now. It doesn't debate, it doesn't argue, it just accepts it as being true. So reality then begins to match that new version of you. You might find that you start meeting the right people. Opportunities that before were non-existent start to appear out of nowhere. Doors that were closed are now open to you. It's not magic, it's about aligning with that version of you who already is in that reality, who already has those options, who is already living that dream life. The issue with this, and one reason I think it's so difficult for so many people, is we're so used to looking at the 3D world for reassurance and pointing at things and saying we have those things. And also, most people, they try to manifest from a place of lack. They think, I know what I want, and I hope it comes, and I'm going to work hard for it, but where is it? When is it going to show up? They're sort of doubting the process or questioning it. That very question, where is it? When is it going to arrive? When will I have this dream life? That's the opposite of what we're talking about here. We're talking about living in that state right now so that it then comes to you. But the questions of where is it? When is it coming? When will I have that life? All you're doing is confirming to the universe and your subconscious that you don't have these things. And so the more you're confirming that you don't have, the more you're not going to have these things in your 3D reality. So now onto the practical side of all of this. How do you actually make this shift? How do you act as though it's already here, even if physically it's not? First, you have to learn to shift your identity. You have to ask yourself, who am I when all these things are already mine? And you have to dive deep on this. Why do you want all these things that you want? The money, the success, the relationship, etc. Really sit with it and think about it. We always want things because we think they're going to give us certain emotions. So all these things that you want in your life, ask yourself, what are the emotions and states that I think these things will give me? And use that to construct this new identity of yourself. So the version of you who already has those things already has the feeling states associated with having those things in your life. So if you want money and success because you think it's going to make you feel more secure, then you're going to feel secure in that new version of you. If you want an amazing relationship because you think that's going to make you feel loved and understood, then that future version of you comes from a place of, feeling loved and understood. It's all about embodying those states right now. So again, coming back to this question of who am I when I already have these things in my life? How do I think? How do I talk? How do I walk into a room? How do I dress? What do I eat every day? How do I spend my day? All of these different aspects of your life, think about it and think about what it'll be like when you're that new version of you, and instead of waiting for it, start being that person right now in the present moment. And then second, embody the feeling. Again, I alluded to these feeling states earlier. All these things that you want to bring into your life, it's because you think they're going to make you feel a certain way. And as Neville Goddard said, the feeling is the secret. So once you know what you want, think about the feelings you believe those things will grant you in your life and start to embody that feeling right now. Start to feel it right now. Because it's not enough to just think about what we want. We have to feel internally and vividly and intensely that we have these feelings right now, that it's with us right now. Take some time every day, close your eyes, almost like a meditation, and imagine living in that end state where you already have everything, and focus on the feeling states of what that reality gives you. The money, the success, the relationship, etc. Think of the feelings associated with having those things in your life and live from that place. And then finally, another part of this is responding from that end state. So when something happens, maybe it's something that you don't want to happen. You know where you want to go, and you feel like something happens that is taking you in the wrong direction, something negative, something you don't like. Even if something in your life contradicts the desire that you have, just take a moment, pause, and remind yourself, if I already had it, if I were already living my dream life, how would I respond to this? And then respond in that way. Because that question of how would this future version of me respond, it anchors you back in that feeling state of being in the state of the wish fulfilled, of already having that reality right now. So don't concern yourself with how or when it's going to come, because when you're truly living in that end state of having it right now, there's no impatience, because inside of you, you already have everything. You're already granting yourself internally everything that you want and desire. So now, how do you know when all of this is working? Well, one way is you'll know it's working when, frankly, you stop caring about whether these things show up in your life. You'll just feel a sense of peace and purpose and confidence, just knowing that you're on the right path, you're doing everything you can, and you're not necessarily attached to the outcome. Like, yes, you want certain things in your life, but because you're granting yourself internally those emotions and you're already living as though you have that reality right now, you're not really concerned about what happens in the 3D world. Now, I've seen all of these aspects play out so many times in my own life. Every time that I've tried to chase after something, I didn't realize it years ago, but I was just reinforcing the fact that certain things weren't in my life. And as I've realized to live in that end state and feel right now that I'm already complete, I'm already whole, I already have everything that I want, I find the more that I do that, the more things just naturally come to me. And so I'm attracting instead of chasing. And that's the place I want all of you to get to where you know what you want. Yes, you're putting in the work to get there, but you're taking inspired action. And you're, in a sense, not attached to the outcome, because you've already decided to give yourself internally those feelings, and you know that you have it right now. So you feel whole and complete right now. And then you're grateful for everything that you have, sure, but you're not so attached to the outcome. So whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, instead of asking yourself, where is it? When is it going to come? Focus on this question: who would I be if I already had it? And then become that person right now. Live from that place each and every day. Neville Goddard's work isn't about forcing reality to change. Remember, it's about choosing to vibrate at a certain level, like to vibrate and be in resonance with a reality that already exists in a way. It's about realizing that you can tap into whatever version of events you want. You have that power. And so it's all about knowing what you want and then deciding that you're going to give yourself that reality internally right now. And once you can get to that place, I think you'll find like just a sense of peace and satisfaction, knowing that you're on the right path, but at the same time, not being so clingy or desperate or chasing. And it's a state of wholeness and completeness and allowing these things to come to you instead of you always chasing after them. So if this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments below what it is that you're manifesting in your own life. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to join our growing community. Links to my free newsletter are below. And if you sign up right now, you'll get a free gift. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.